No, there is a difference at that time. The civil servants, instead of bureaucrat, I will use the word civil servant. Civil servant had a different approach. And in fact, they were justifying the observations made by Sardar Patel immediately after the country became independent. At that time, after 1947, there was a thinking, not a decision, but a thinking, whether we could dispense with the Indian civil service. At that time, it was not the IAS, but the ICS. So, one suggestion was that we should abolish, because the ICS had been created by the British with a certain motive in mind. But that motive is no longer relevant today. So therefore we should dispense with it and have a different system. But at that time, Sardar Patel said, no, we cannot abolish it, because the Indian civil service has been the steel frame of the administration of the country. They have delivered the job, and they can deliver the job. The direction has to be given by us. If we indicate a direction, in that direction they will proceed, and they will perform well. So therefore, the only thing at that time that we did was, we changed the nomenclature. Instead of ICS, Indian Civil Service, we called it Indian Administrative Service. So you still need it, but at that time and in the earlier stages, in the IAS, this sort of fight for posts was not there.
In your times?
It was not there. In fact, I give you an example. In fact, at that time, instead of running for the post, a particular important post, as you call the plum postings, instead of that, the idea was, create for yourself a particular career. That career may be in a slightly less important line, but you choose a career. For instance, here I remember an example. Two officers had come on deputation from Madhya Pradesh to Himachal Pradesh. One was Anil Chandra and the second was Ravi Veera Gupta. Ravi Veera Gupta was senior, they were of the same batch. Anil Chandra was next in seniority, they had come here on deputation. Because we were an infant sort of administrative unit. I am saying administrative unit because we were still not a state. We were a unitary. Now, a stage came when a post fell vacant in the government. That was the post of Secretary Education. And government therefore wanted to appoint somebody as Secretary Education. And the Chief Secretary called Ravi Veera Gupta, said, you are senior most now, and we are thinking of appointing you as Secretary Education. And his context question was, suppose I say no, then what will you decide? The Chief Secretary said, in that case, you will pick up the next senior man, that is Anil Chandra, who belongs to your cadre, but he is junior to you. Okay, do it. Because I am now posted as Registrar Cooperative Societies, and I have decided to carve out for myself cooperation only as a career. If you want to appoint me as Secretary Cooperation, I am willing, but not as Secretary Education or any other department for that matter. So he refused. So this was the general approach of the IAS officers at that time. They were not running after posts important.
And sir,
and if I may complete it, from here, he went on deputation to Government of India. And there he was appointed as Managing Director of Cooperative Corporation. And from there, when his term, the deputation period was over, he went to his own state back there, and there he was appointed as Secretary Cooperation. And after doing that stint as Secretary Cooperation in his state, he came over to Government of India, but again in the Ministry of Cooperation. The whole of his life he was in cooperation. So carving out for yourself a career and specializing and then delivering the goods was a better approach, they said. This was the difference. Now, unfortunately, that is not that prominent.